Hello, my loves. My name is Eloise Skye. I am a connection, empowerment, and relationship coach. And I'm here today to talk about discernment versus the saboteur. So, when you start dating, when you meet someone, we are making an assessment about whether they are the kind of person that we want to go out with, whether we like them, whether there's any potential there, right? That is discernment. I'll break this down in more detail in a second. But then there's the saboteur, which really wants to protect us from opening ourselves up to this new potential relationship, because that involves the possibility of us getting hurt or rejected or abandoned. So the saboteur can put ideas into our head about why it's not going to work, about why this person isn't for us. That looks like discernment, right? It looks like us being like, oh, actually, I don't think this is going to work because this is out of alignment. So in order to talk about discernment, we also need to talk about judgment, because there's a difference between the two. So judgment is when we take one thing about a person and use that one little thing to make all of these other different stories about them or that we believe to be true. So an example of this could be, as just a silly example, right? You're on a dating app, you see a guy with a fishing photo. The judgment is like, he's just like that kind of person, right? He's the kind of person that he's like such a dude or whatever it is, right? Okay, so that's the judgment, is that like he's this, he's that, he's like too like blokey, maybe he's like not sensitive, maybe he's this, maybe he's that. Okay. Discernment is more to do with alignment, with like what you want and how you want to live your life and the kind of person that you want to be with. So maybe fishing does not align with you because you are vegan, vegetarian, maybe you're against hunting, whatever it is, right? So you see the fishing photo and you're like, I'm not interested in someone that wants to do that. And that comes from like a neutral place, right? It's not making up stories. It's just like nope, no thanks. So you start seeing this guy, you start to like him. And that's when the saboteur enters. Okay. The saboteur only enters when we are at risk of being hurt, because it's a protection mechanism. And so before that, when you're just like talking to someone, there's no feelings involved, you're just kind of whatever about it, the saboteur is dormant. It doesn't have any work to do, because you don't care whether this guy goes to you, you don't care whether the conversation, doesn't go anywhere. So the saboteur enters and says to you, this guy likes fishing, so he's probably going to be out all weekend on boats. And you don't like boats, and you don't like sun. And that's not what you want to do. So what the saboteur has done is he has taken that one little piece of information, and it's starting to tell you about why it's not going to work, about why it's not in alignment, about like all of the other things that this means. Because now you like this person, and it's trying to be like, no, 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 you might get hurt, to find reasons that it's not going to work so that you can end it, and so that then you can go back to being safe. So when you find yourself in this situation, I've got two questions for you, maybe three. The way between these, to get between these stages, is about fact finding. Okay. So anytime that we are making judgments and assessments about someone, that is information. But we need to verify that by asking questions, either like super direct, like, how often do you go fishing? Like, are you going to want to be fishing every week? Like, how does it look like in your ideal relationship in terms of like how you spend your time with the things that you want to do, and how you spend your time with, seeing your partner or spending time with your partner. And when the saboteur comes up, it's a really, really strong feeling. It's a really strong feeling of like ick, because it is a protector part that has come from this wounded place of us that has been hurt before in the past. I don't know what's happening. There we go. Maybe like that. And so you feel it's very strong. And so when these thoughts are coming up, about all the reasons why it won't work, about all the reasons why you shouldn't like this person. And also note that a lot of the time this comes up kind of in the space between, right? Maybe they didn't text you when you expected them to. Maybe you're like over analyzing whether they like you. Maybe you're trying to have that certainty of whether you like them, whether it's going to go anywhere. This is when the saboteur really tends to come in and have a field day. So because the saboteur wants to talk you out of being open to this person, ask yourself, if they were here telling you that they want to be with you, right? Telling you that they were going to show up in every way that you want them to, right? Because this is like early dating. This is before expectations have been set. Would your response be, yes, amazing, I'm all in? Or would it still be like, yeah, but I don't like the fishing and I don't think this is aligned because fishing doesn't align with my values or whatever it is? Alternatively, right, when the saboteur is like, you don't like them anyway, ask yourself, if this person like texted you and was like, hey, I've had a nice time getting to know you, but let's leave it there, how would you feel? Because if you would be like, that's fine, right? Then the saboteur is not doing the work here, right? That's you being like, I don't really think that this is a thing, right? I don't really think that this is for me. I don't really think that this is in alignment. When the saboteur is telling you that you don't like them because it's trying to protect you, when you put yourself in that scenario and imagine that they are not wanting to see you anymore for whatever reason, right? That's when the real part of us will come out to be disappointed and be like, despite all these stories, despite all of this absolute nonsense that the saboteur is causing havoc in my head, that I actually do really like this person. I'm really disappointed that this isn't gonna happen. See how those two things feel. Especially notice how that scenario feels in your body as you imagine it, because your body has so much wisdom in it about what is the right path for you and what is not the right path for you. And it's a really good way for checking in to see what's running the show here, right? Is it my discernment, learning from past experience and being very clear about what I want? Or is it the saboteur that's just coming in to mess up my life, even if it has good intentions, okay? So I hope this is helpful. If you want to dive deeper into this, I've got a free workbook on my website. It's a journal called Heal Your Heart, where we look at your past relationship patterns, get clarity on what you want and how you can move forward. So give this a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I will see you next time.